Before the headlines. Before the flashing cameras. And long before anyone realized what was happening, Angelina Jolie did something so quiet, so personal, that it nearly went unnoticed. Just days ago, while social media was busy chasing drama, celebrity feuds, and trending controversies, Angelina Jolie appeared somewhere no paparazzi were waiting for her. No red carpet. No press conference. No announcement. She walked into a refugee support center with no entourage, dressed simply, almost blending into the room. No designer statement. No visible security. For a moment, nobody recognized her. And that's when the real story began. She didn't arrive to speak. She didn't arrive to pose. She arrived to listen. Angelina sat on the floor beside displaced women and children, letting them speak first. There was no script. No camera angle to find. Just human stories unfolding in real time. Some talked about losing their homes overnight. Some talked about losing family members they never got to say goodbye to. Others spoke softly, because trauma doesn't always come with words. And here's what made this moment different. She didn't rush it. She didn't check her phone. She didn't glance at the door. She stayed present. Not for 5 minutes. Not for a photo opportunity. But for hours. Volunteers later shared that she asked questions no cameras ever capture, about safety, access to education, medical care, and whether the children were sleeping without fear at night. She didn't just nod politely. She followed up. She listened closely. She remembered names. She remembered faces. She remembered details. One aid worker quietly said later, she didn't act like a celebrity visiting. She acted like someone who belonged there. And that sentence stuck with people. Because in a world where kindness is often packaged for attention, filtered for engagement, and measured in likes, this wasn't content. It was commitment. Angelina didn't announce donations on social media. She didn't attach her name to a headline first. She quietly arranged emergency funding for families who needed immediate housing support, money that helped people move from temporary shelters into safer spaces. No hashtags. No viral posts. No branded generosity. The help arrived before the headlines ever did. And when word finally leaked online days later, not through a press release, but through volunteers and locals sharing what they witnessed, people reacted differently than usual. There was no outrage. No argument. No culture war debate. Just respect. Comments began appearing across platforms saying things like, "This is what real compassion looks like. She's been doing this for years, we just forget. This feels human, not performative." Because that's the thing about Angelina Jolie's kindness. It's consistent. For more than 2 decades, she's shown up in places the algorithm doesn't care about: refugee camps, conflict zones, hospitals, schools operating under impossible conditions. Long after cameras leave. Long after attention moves on. She's visited areas where people don't ask for autographs, they ask for safety. And this moment reminded people why her name still carries weight beyond movies. In an era where celebrity kindness can sometimes feel transactional, post first, help second, Angelina's approach feels almost radical. Help first. Listen longer. Speak later, or not at all. She didn't need to remind the world who she was. She didn't need validation. The people she helped already knew, not as a movie star, not as a headline, but as someone who saw them when the world didn't. And maybe that's why this story spread the way it did. Not because it was dramatic. Not because it was shocking. But because it felt rare. It reminded people that empathy doesn't have to be loud. That kindness doesn't need branding. And that the most meaningful acts often happen off camera. In a digital world that rewards visibility over sincerity, Angelina Jolie chose something quieter. And in doing so, she reminded millions of people of something we're all at risk of forgetting. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply show up, sit down, and listen.